Balance of payments. So today we are going to discuss on this topic. Under balance of payment, we are going to understand the meaning of balance of payment, the important elements in the balance of payment, the next the types of disequilibrium in the balance of payment, causes of disequilibrium in the balance of payment, and measure adopted to fix the disequilibrium in the balance of payment. So these are the topics which we are going to discuss in this video. Let's see the meaning of balance of payment. It is a statement which shows the record of all the economic transaction between the resident of the country with the rest of the world. So here the transaction is happening between the resident of a country and the rest of the world. So here resident of a country includes individuals, corporates and the government. So this is the statement which shows the economic transaction or a money transaction, monetary transaction which happened between the resident of a country and the rest of the world. Then the second thing about BOP statement is it indicates whether the country has a surplus in balance of payment or deficit in balance of payment. Here the surplus in balance of payment means where exports are more than imports. When we say deficit in balance of payment, there is a condition where imports are more than exports. So this BOP statements show the economy status of that particular country. Let's see the next slide. Elements of balance of payments. Now we know what is balance of payment means. A balance of payment shows all the receipts and all the payments occurred due to the monetary transaction between the resident of the country and the rest of the world. So balance of payment includes the transactions which are visible in nature, invisible in nature, unilateral in nature and capital in nature. Here visible transactions are those transactions which happens between the resident and the rest of the world from exporting and importing of goods. So visible trade means the visible transactions means here goods. So the transaction is happening because of import and export of goods. Invisible transactions are those transactions which happens between the resident and the rest of the world from exporting and importing of services. So this is called invisible trade. So here we can't see the service. So that is the thing we call it as a invisible trade. The next one is unilateral in nature. So unilateral transactions are one-sided transaction. Either money will come to our country or money will go out of our country. So these are called one-sided transactions. And the next is capital in nature. So capital transactions are those transactions which happens between the resident of the country and the rest of the world due to buying and selling of capital assets. So these are the four transactions which are included in the balance of payment. Let's see the first element, current account. So the current account refers to an account which records all the transactions relating to export and imports of goods and services and unilateral transfers during the given period of time. So basically here current account includes all the visible transactions, all invisible transactions and unilateral transactions. So always remember current account includes these three transactions. One is visible, the other one is invisible, the third one is unilateral transactions. So current account contains the receipt and payment relating to all the transactions of visible items, invisible items, and unilateral transfers. Let's see the next slide. The next one is capital account. So here capital account records or shows all the transactions related to buying and selling of capital assets between the resident of a country and rest of the world. Then next, financial accounts. Financial account shows or monitor the flow of funds between the country which are related to direct foreign investments, investments made by investments made in outside of the country, and it includes government owned assets and assets owned by the foreign nationals. So these things will be shown under financial accounts. The next one is statistical discrepancy. Here errors and omissions. Errors and omission is an important item on the BOP statement and taken into account for arriving at the overall balance. So what do you mean by statistical discrepancy? So here it refers to estimate of foreign exchange flow on account of either variation in the collection of related figures, or we can say unrecorded illegal transactions in of foreign exchange. So those errors and omissions are part of balance of payment. So they are important element of BOP. Then the next slide is types of disequilibrium in balance of payment. Before discussing types of disequilibrium, let us know what is disequilibrium means. Disequilibrium is a condition where exports and imports are not equal. So disequilibrium can arise through two conditions. The first one, where exports are more than import, that condition is called favorable condition. Then the second one is where imports are more than exports, that condition is called unfavorable condition. Usually the deficit or surplus in BOP occurs due to current account transaction. So these transactions are done by the motive of profit maximization. That you always need to remember, that deficiency or surplus in balance of payment occurs only due to current account transactions. We already know what is current account and what type of transactions comes under current account. So their motive, the motive of those transactions is to make the profit. Then the second, under capital account, all the capital items are recorded. The main motive of capital account is to correct the unfavorable situation which is occurred under current account. Let's say a country is taking a loan from other country to correct the unfavorable situation which is occurred under the current account. So this is all about disequilibrium in balance of payment. Let's discuss the types. The first one is cyclical disequilibrium. This disequilibrium occurs due to trade cycle. Here trade cycle means fluctuation in the economic activity, especially in employment, price, production, income, etc. Okay, let's take an example. Under a boom period, people's purchasing power increases. This leads to increase in aggregate demand for imported goods, and this follows the situation where imports increases than exports. So this is the example of cyclical disequilibrium. Then the second one is structural disequilibrium. The structural disequilibrium arises when there is a when the structural changes takes place in some sector of the economy, in some sector of the economy, that you need to remember. Let's take an example. Suppose the foreign demand for India's jute product decline. Here the demand for the India's jute product declines because, let's say, a China found some other uh, substitute of jute product. Because of that, the demand for India's jute product declined and the demand for the Chinese product got increased. So this is the example of structural disequilibrium. Due to that, the export from India decreases. You can see a structural disequilibrium uh, in this situation. Then the next one is short run disequilibrium. A short run disequilibrium in a country's balance of payment will be temporary. So this is very temporary one, and this short term disequilibrium can be corrected automatically. There is no any serious issues arise from this short run disequilibrium. So this is the temporary one. Let's see the next one. Long-term disequilibrium. This disequilibrium arises due to sudden intensive change in the economy. This leads to long-term disequilibrium in the BOP. Long-term deficit in the balance of payment of a country tend to deplete its foreign exchange reserve, and country may also enable to raise more loans from foreigners on account of such persistent deficit. Here, this long-term disequilibrium caused by change in dynamic forces or factors such as growth in population, technological advancement or innovation, etc. Then the next type is exchange rate fluctuation. Change in an exchange rate when a country currency is revalued or devalued. So any revaluation in the currency or devaluation in the country currency can cause the disequilibrium in the balance of payment. So these are all about types of disequilibrium. Let's move on to the next slide. The first cause is unfavorable balance of payment. When imports goes on increasing due to many factors like need of capital assets for rapid industrial developments, or or high domestic price which leads to imports, or we can say a new source of supply or new substitution decreases the exports. Here new substitution or new source of supply means, let's say China found a new product which substitutes the jute bag. As India is the major jute exporter, it going to affect the Indian market very badly. So due to this, the unfavorable situation arises in the balance of trade. The next one is cyclical fluctuations, their phases and amplitudes. Cyclical fluctuation cause disequilibrium in BOP due to cyclical change in economic variable. Here economic variables are like income, output, consumption, employment. Any change in these economic variables affects overall economic activities. Let's take one simple example. Increase in income of the people increases demand for imported goods. This leads to more import and less export. The third point is burden of payment of foreign debts. Foreign debts declines, more foreign debts declines economic growth of the country. This affects the efficiency to produce more goods, and this type of situation leads to less export during the period. The next point is speedy economic development. A rapid economic growth will cause higher level of consumer spending. People start buying more important goods. This causes a deficit in all circumstances. And also a speed economic growth cause increase in inflation rate. This will make export less competitive and import relatively cheap. Inadvocate promotion of export. Uh, Inadvocate or less activities of the government on export promotion impacts on the export performance. This makes the export less competitive. The next cause is inflationary spiral at home. Here spiral means continuous. Uh, uh, the inflationary spiral is a situation where prices increases, then people are paid more in their jobs. This leads the price of the goods and services to increase again. So, rise in price increases the production cost, which makes exports less competitive. Ultimately, the inflation discourages exports and demand for foreign product increases because of price variation. This encourages imports. The next point is capital movement. Due to requirement of capital for huge development and investment program causes disequilibrium in BOP, balance of payment. This makes import increase for more capital asset. The next cause is natural factor. Sometimes due to natural factors, industrial and agriculture production in the country falls, resulting exports decreases but no cutoff in imports seen. So here BOP, balance of payments, become adverse. The next cause is demonstration effect. It means where people of underdeveloped countries starts adopting the foreign pattern of consumption. Due to this reason, import increases and leads to deficit in balance of payment. The next cause is high population growth. High population growth in poor countries had badly affected on balance of payment position. So increase in population increases the needs of these countries for imports and decreases the capacity of export. The next cause is political factor. Political instability. Here it means frequent change in government and their policies. These leads to large capital outflow and reduces inflow of foreign funds into the country. Those affect the balance of payment adversely. The last cause is the terms of trade. Terms of trade is an indicator of economic health. Generally, a strong terms of trade indicates export price have gone up as comparatively with import price. Inflation rate, price, population growth, fashion affects the terms of trade. So change in the terms of trade affects balance of payment. So these are all causes of disequilibrium in BOP. Let's see the next slide. Measures adopted to disequilibrium in balance of payment. This is our last topic. The first measure is trade policy measures, expanding export and restraining import. Measures to taken to expand exports like reducing export duties, decreasing interest rate on credit used to finance exporters, granting subsidies to export business, reducing tax rates and providing exemptions. So these are all measures which will help to fix the disequilibrium in balance of payment. The next measure is expenditure reducing policy. Another way to reduce import for reducing deficit in balance of payment is to adopt monetary policy that aim to reduce aggregate demand in the economy or in the market, which helps to reduce imports. Then the next one is expenditure switching policy devaluation. Here, reduction or reducing in foreign exchange rate of the national currency by devaluing the value of national currency with respect to foreign currency. This helps to export more competitive in the foreign market. So we already discussed about this, how devaluation of value of home currency approach boost the export in the previous video. Then the last one is exchange control. Under this measure, devaluation is a temporary measure because it provoke other countries to adopt it. So under this method, exporters asked to surrender their foreign exchange to central bank, then that is distributing among the licensed exporter. So this permits only those importers to import who are having license to import the goods. So these are the measures which are adopted to fix the disequilibrium in the balance of payment.